I'm Danielle Williams. I'm 37 and I live in Seattle, Washington. It's difficult to articulate. It's not as simple as not being in love anymore. I was engaged to Ben and living in LA, and it felt like, yeah, I want to make movies and marry Ben. Jesus, I was only 19 or 20 at the time. I never felt older in my whole life. Anyway, if I was honest with myself, it was like a small part of me felt dead. Or dead-ish. You tell yourself no relationship's perfect, no person's perfect, but anyway, you were asking about Charlie. So yes, I was happy with Ben and aware of the deadness, and I went to New York to meet with this director for this movie, a space movie, but one where they take space seriously, like sex trafficking in space, is political, or at least they wanted us to think it was. Anyway, it was really fulfilling in the same way that certain fucked up porn is. But anyway, so while I was there, the producer invited me to see a play. It took place in someone's apartment with all the lights on. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. This strange, surreal, dystopian story, and it was so well acted. And one of the actors was this big, shaggy bear who played all of his lines looking directly at me, which I knew couldn't be the case, but felt like it. And then later, of course, I learned that it was. Afterward, I was introduced to the cast. The director turned out to be the big bear. He talked to me, and I talked back. The dead part wasn't dead, it was just in a coma. And it was better than the sex, the talking. Although the sex was also like the talking. Everything is like everything in a relationship. Do you find that? So we spent the whole night and the next day together, and I just never left. Yes, to be honest, in the beginning, all the problems were there too, but I just went along with him and his life because it felt so damn good to feel myself alive. In the beginning, I was the actress, the star, and that felt like something, People came to see me at first, but the further away I got from that, and the more acclaim the theater company got, and I had less and less weight, and he was the draw, and that would have been fine, but I got smaller. I realized I didn't ever really come alive for myself. I was just feeding his aliveness. And, he was so smart and creative. It was fine. And I would tell him things at home in private, and they would make their way into his public conversations, into his work. And for a while, that felt like enough. I was just so flattered that someone like him would find an idea I had worth trying, or a comment I made worth repeating. And then I got pregnant. And I thought that having a baby could really be ours, but also really mine. And, he was so excited, so it was nice for a while. Kids, they belong to themselves. It's like the instant they leave your body, it's just the process of them going away. But I I didn't belong to myself, and it was small stuff, stupid stuff. And big stuff. All the furniture in our house was his taste. I didn't even know what my taste was anymore because I'd never been asked to use it. I didn't even pick our apartment. I just moved into his. And I made noises about wanting to move back to LA, but they came to nothing. And we'd come here on holidays, but if I suggested we do a year or something, he'd just put me off. It would be strange if he turned to me and said, "And what do you want to do today?" You know, I just watched that documentary on George Harrison, and I thought, own it. Just own it. Be like George Harrison's wife. Being a wife and mother, that's enough. Yeah. And then I realized I couldn't remember her name. So this pilot came along. It shot in LA and paid so much, and it was this little lifeline thrown to me, and here's this piece of earth that's yours. And I was embarrassed about it in front of him, but it was also like, yeah, this is who I am and this is what I'm worth, and maybe it's stupid, but at least it's mine. And if he'd just taken me in a big hug and said, "Baby, I'm so excited for your adventure. Of course I want you to have your own piece of earth," then maybe we wouldn't be getting divorced. But he made fun of it and was jealous like he is. And then he realized about the money, and he told me that I could funnel it back into the theater company. That's when I realized he truly didn't see me. He didn't see me as someone separate from himself. And then I asked him to say my phone number. He didn't know it. So I left. Thank you.